Hello everybody. So I've just released Roguelike Dungeons 1.3.5, and the key feature in this update has been the new settings system, which I know a lot of people are going to be curious about, and I'd like to have a video to sort of give an impression of how you get started with this, because I'm not finished doing the documentation, and it's not this is not really kind of an obvious thing necessarily, and there's a lot of nuances and peculiarities. So what I've done here is I've set up, I've got myself biomes of plenty. I've got not enough items. I've got uh, chisel, which added a whole bunch of blocks, lycanite mobs, which I used for testing spawners. And I've got, of course, Roguelike Dungeons 1.3.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sort of show you what it's like to sort of get started and how I would recommend approaching that. So, um, really, so when you create a new world, just create a default sort of, oh, wait a minute, well, I don't really need to make biomes of plenty biomes, I guess. I can leave that out for now. I was just using it for testing biome types and stuff like that. But you can do that with vanilla world gen as well. So that's just gonna load in kind of slowly. That's not too bad. It's gonna generate in the config directory. It's gonna generate a Roguelike Dungeons folder that has a roguelike.cfg in it, and that's the standard. This is the standard set of options for the mod. So you have to create a directory called settings. It has to have that exact name. And this will be where the settings are pulled from. And you can do this while the game's running, by the way. You don't. I don't think there's any situation where the game can crash anymore as a result of faulty settings. So, and the settings are refreshed when you do dungeon spawning by name. So let's create a setting called demo. You can leave it with a .txt extension because extensions don't matter. It doesn't care. But I'm going to call it txt because then it's recognized as something I can open in the editor. So whatever. Now, they're all JSON objects, and a JSON object is just an open and close bracket, or open and close braces. I hope this is visible. It's just braces. So I just go tab in there, and the first thing I do is add a name. And I'm going to call this demo. It doesn't matter that it's the same name as what's in the file name. And that's all you need to worry about. So everything else in the file is optional. But in this case, I'm going to create an inherit array and a criteria. This is the thing that's actually going to define what we spawn in. So, like, this one is actually an active setting that's going to be acted on by the mod in game. But what we're going to do, so that's kind of sounds weird, but just that'll make sense when I do this next thing. So we're going to create. Let's create a very simple one. Let's call it size. And what this one is going to do is it's going to change the size of the dungeons. So let's try it with, let's open it here. And so we're going to create another one. We're going to call it name size. Oops. This one is going to have no criterias. Instead, it's going to have levels. And these are level settings. So one of the options that you can use is you can either do 0 or 0 to 4 to set specific settings for individual levels, or you can do all to apply the setting that you put in here to all levels. So for all these levels, there is a range, let's say 40, and num rooms, let's say 10, or how about 5? Let's just see what 5 does. So that should be obvious if we've done that correctly. So now whenever you, this should be a valid setting, by the way. Whenever you do one of these, let's just pop open. There's a website called jsonlint.com that I use for validating my JSON before I try to run it. There's a validator built in which reports errors from Minecraft, so that I've thrown exceptions with. So it should tell you the same things here, but this is valid JSON, so we're fine. Now the only reason that's valid is because I've had a lot of practice writing JSON recently. So, but in general, you're just going to make a lot of mistakes, and that's the way it is, no doubt. I make a lot of mistakes too still, but for something as trivial as this, it's not too difficult to get it right. So now what I can do is I can try Roguelike Dungeon -166, -186. Let's try size and see what happens. There you go. So there should be like 5 rooms or something in each of the levels. Let's go down and verify that that's the case. Should be just a really small level. Oh, I see cake. So that's 1. The stairway is 2. 3. The secret rooms don't count. So that's... Oh, look, they all spawned. 4, and... Oh, that's interesting. 5, 6. Now that either means that I'm wrong about that, and one of these nodes... Like, maybe the stairway doesn't count. Maybe the stairway is... But anyway, so you can see that this configuration has worked. So now, let's try changing the bricks, because I'm sure that's something that people will be interested in seeing. But this just gives you an idea of what the process is to kind of get started. So we will go back out here and we will create one called theme. And it doesn't need to be called theme, it's just I'm going to call it theme. Theme. Edit. So again, we just create open and close braces, give it a name. And I'm just going to call it theme, which is totally arbitrary. Doesn't need to be called that, but I'm just calling it that. So you can make up whatever name you want. Levels. All. Theme. This is the theme for all levels. Actually, why don't we make that level 0? Theme. So now the stuff inside these braces here is going to be the theme details. And I'm pretty sure I'll remember this off the top of my head, but we'll see. So primary. And let's just do the primary blocks. I don't want to... I'll do this first so that you can see. Primary. I should probably look this up. So I believe this is current in the documentation on the wiki, so let's just go, oops. Roguelike wiki. Now, hopefully this might give some idea of how to do the how to use this wiki as well. I just need to confirm the names of things. Theme, primary, block set. So what is the block set structure? Walls, pillar, stair. Okay. Walls, pillar, stair. So now we'll just go type meta block. Oops. Data. So now the stuff that's going to be in there is going to be block name. I don't think we need anything beyond name, but I would like to just show how you get, like I've got, how do I, oh, so I've got all kinds of blocks in here that I could pick to do stuff with. So let's say, I don't know, let's just say, let's try to get mud, or how about mud bricks? So we want to know what these bricks are. Oh, hey, there's mud brick stairs. Let's try to make a theme with this stuff. So the pillars will be, the pillars can be, what can we use for, let's try dead wood. Okay, so I found out that how you do this to get, in NEI, you go into here, you go into, oh, what is it, tools? Data dumps? And it will dump out all of the data about the blocks that you have available, because otherwise there's no way you're going to know where to find these. So if you go out into Minecraft dumps, you get this item CSV, which you can open with OpenOffice Calc. Calc is free. Go get it if you don't have it. And then you just comma separate, so make sure this is checked. That's how you're going to separate your tabs so that it creates a nice table for you. Hit OK. And then we can go find like mud. Biomes of plenty mud. Find next. Find all. Oops, mud bricks. Okay, so that's the string you want, this thing. So our bricks are going to be mud bricks. So let's just paste, oops, paste that in. We don't need any metadata, so that's fine. We need a comma there, and we need a pillar. We can copy this. And maybe again. So we got that, and comma there. How about mud stair? Mud brick stairs, there it is. So we get, I'm pretty sure this one will work. So this is going to go in stairs. And then in the pillar, let's just put mud bricks there, actually. Think, no, come on. Like, yeah, let's find something good. Some kind of maybe some kind of dark stone if there is one. What have I got here? Bombs aplenty. What does it actually have here? What can I grab? How about polished shale? What does that look like? Search for shale, see if it comes up. Yes. Ah. Okay. Well, this might be one of those things where it's like, yeah, you see it's 167 meta 5. So we need to find whatever 0 is. That's a good example here. This is limestone. So we need to find limestone. Oh, wait a minute. Is there limestone in both? Is it limestone in Biomes of Plenty and oh. Well, that's weird. 167. Wait a minute. Wait. Let's find it the other way around. Let's go 167. Oh, weird. It's called rocks. You can actually test that by, oop, what just happened here? Dang it. Give Graymerk. There we go. Yeah, that's the stuff. Weird. So we're gonna have to put in pillar, Biomes of Plenty rocks, comma, meta. What was it, 5? Yeah, it was 5. So let's meta 5. That's theme. That's what it's called. So we'll just test that one right now. Just go a little bit away from this tower. And then dungeon negative 93 negative 208 theme. Oh, an unknown error occurred. Well then, oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow. What have I done? That's a new one on me, I'll tell you. Although it did, I presume this was valid JSON because it actually, yeah, that's valid. So what did I do wrong? Oh, you know what I did? Themes need to have a base, and I forgot. So you can say like, if oak is the default one, so let's just try that. So there you go. There's an interesting little quirk. I have no idea why that behaved that way, but at some point I'll try and fix that. Dungeon negative 71, negative 147. Theme. There you go. That's what we want to see. This one is going to be now you can see actually that it's got the oak secondary blocks. That's because we didn't define secondary. We've instead allowed it to inherit from the basic oak theme. If you get what I mean, like that's what's normally here. If we change the base, then it'll change what the secondary blocks are, and I can demonstrate that in a second here. But you can see, yeah, there's your shale pillars and your stair. Now, one thing about this particular theme that it should have, I'm not really counting them, but there should be the normal number of rooms, which is more than whatever, 5. Now we can actually put these two themes that we've made together into one theme, which is what I'm going to do now. So to combine two themes, you don't have to copy and paste them together into one file. What you do, and what I highly recommend that you do, because it keeps it easier, like when you keep on adding new stuff, is you add them into here as size and theme. Now, one problem is that we need to make sure that that this one demo that we're doing here, it needs to be alphabetically after the ones that we're inheriting from, so that these ones get parsed first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cheat and add underscores to the beginning of their file names. So I recommend that when you're inheriting, you inherit from these ones with underscores in the names, and then only inherit in your final spawning files, if you know what I mean. Like, these ones will not be used for spawning dungeons. These ones are, because they have no criteria. If you have a criteria, then it will actually be used for naturally spawning dungeons. So now, if I try to create a demo dungeon, it should have the theme and the custom size. In fact, if I just explored this, there may actually be one of these dungeons near this village. Let's see. Boy, this lighting is driving me nuts. Time set day. There we go. Oh no, maybe this oh, you know what? I haven't actually refreshed the themes. So how this works is when you spawn a dungeon by name, it refreshes the entire theme set. So let's just do that now. Roguelike Dungeon, negative 290, 62, demo. There you go. So let's go down there and just see that it's the right size. It ought to be. So 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4, 5. Oh, that's interesting. It's not. I wonder why that is. You know what? I probably just didn't save it or something. Size. Well, yeah, I'm not sure why that is. I'll have to look into that at some point. Should work though. Let's try a really big one. Almost seems like that should have taken longer to generate if that was actually... Like this should be a really big level if that actually worked. Huh. It looks like it's bigger. It's hard to tell without breaking up like without breaking out a map viewer or something to check to see what it looks like. I don't know. Yeah, it looks pretty big. You know, it's either that or I've gotten the values wrong here. That's another possibility. Num rooms range. Anyway, all right. Let's not worry too much about that. I want to show a couple other things maybe. So you can define custom rooms. Name rooms. Levels. Zero. I believe it's called rooms, like the actual container for the stuff. Is it an array or is it a? I think it might be an array. Let's just check here. Rooms is an array of mode, type, and weight. All right. Array means square brackets. Mode. No. Wait. It's an array of objects. So first thing is going to be an object. So let's say mode. Single is a mode. Type, let's say etho. Weight. Oh no, wait. You only need type if it's random, which it's not. So it's let's add another one in here. Mode random, and we'll say type cake. Oops, that's going to be an error right there. Weight, I think this defaults to 1. Most things with a weight will default to 1 if you leave out the weight. Let's just add a bunch of cake rooms and change that back. And then I'd like to actually go into the theme and change the base to, let's change it to bling, so just so you can see. What do we got? We got to go into demo and add the rooms. Add in rooms. So let's take a look here. We got rooms. Yep. Looks good to me. Let's try it. Roguelike Dungeon, -443, -41, demo. Oh, it's thinking about it. Doesn't like it. I think something went wrong. Error in rooms. Cannot be cast. Something was null. Alright. What the heck does that mean? Well, let's just run it through the validator. Yeah, it's valid, so what the heck did I do? What was it trying to cast? Cannot be cast object. JSON null. Levels. 0. Rooms. Let's take a look here. It's the string. Weight is an int. It's an array of objects that contain these. This is why you want to do these in different files, because you want to know like what file stuff is going wrong in. And if you have a really big file, that's all you have to go on. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to. Mode. Random or single. Type. Oh, you know what it is? This needs to be all caps. So maybe it's better if you, I'll try and keep these up to date, but if you just copy and paste these directly out of here or whatever, because you have to get them exactly right. Although it's really weird that that's the error, because that is a mistake, but I somehow doubt that's actually what it is. Oh, that was what it was. These are hard things to figure out, and the errors can be kind of oblique in what they report. But you can see that bling is now the secondary blocks. The primary are the same. So that's what setting the base actually means. Okay, so we got cake, cake, etho. You know, I've watched a lot of people, by the way, playing, and they never seem to notice that down there. And your mum. All right, so we've seen these. If you want to change the segments, you can do that too. So let's just try that. I think I might stop soon here because this is kind of, I'm hoping by now that you kind of get an idea of how this works, and that's the important thing. I don't want to really, I'm not intending to comprehensively cover all this stuff, but I just want to give you an idea of what your process should be. Name, segments, boy. Levels, 0. Segments. I don't remember if this is a, what is this? It's an object. You can see that right here. Wait a minute. Segments is an object that contains a segments array. Oh, right, because it needs to have an arch element as well. So let's just, yeah. I always confuse myself with that one. Segments and arch. Arch, oh no, it's actually a string. So usually you're just going to say arch. Now, what this means, here, let's make it something else. Mossy arch. So that's a particular kind of segment. This is arbitrary. You can actually use anything you want as archways, but I made specific ones with arch in the name that are meant to be used for as archways. Like, fire arch. Huh. Anyway, so there's some of them, if they have arch in the name, that means they're meant to be used for arches, and I'll explain that in a second here. So this is a list of strings, I think. Segment. Oh yeah, you need a weight as well. Okay, so type weight. I'm not sure if that's optional or not, but you may as well put it in. So let's say skull. I know skull is 1. Let's make it different stuff than this normally. Skull, mushroom, and tomb. How about that? Just so that it's easy to see that stuff is actually happening. Get rid of the last comma. Skull. What is it called? Mushroom. Tomb. All right. Let's just give it a try. Segments, demo. So we'll add in segments. So we'll go somewhere a little bit far away and run that again. Actually, you know what? Let's change this to Let's change the theme again. Let's change it to spruce. There we go. Roguelike Dungeon, negative 491, negative 150, demo. There you go. Spruce is now secondary. Cake. What did we change? Oh yeah, right. Skulls. Mushrooms. And tombs. There you go, so we've seen it all. They're evenly distributed. If you modify the weights, they will become more or less common relative to one another. So higher numbers mean more common. Alright, so it's kind of funny. We chose mossy, which means that it's just going to spawn the vines and the drippies. And these little water pools, these are normally what you see on the mossy cobble level. Now, arches always have these beams right here, and these stairs that kind of come out a bit. That's their defining characteristic. That's what makes them an arch. And I guess just because, just to kind of make this clear, I want to show you what happens if you put something weird in there. So if we put like, let's put a chest in the arch. You could do this, it's perfectly fine, but it's going to look really funny. Well, it's not going to look funny, but it's not going to look as interesting. Dang it. Roguelike Dungeon, negative 551, negative 101, demo. Did I save that? Yeah. There we go. Let's go down there. Okay, now you see chests are... See how this doesn't really mesh well anymore? It looks kind of gimpy and weird. Well, you kind of need... you kind of need arch segments in order to make it look right. Otherwise your hallways kind of look... they just look weird. They don't look... I don't know. It's something you can mess around with if you want, but I don't like it. So one other thing that we can try, just to kind of show you, if we change this to secondary, let's go spawn another dungeon somewhere. We're running out of space here. Spawn so many dungeons. Roguelike Dungeon, negative 200, negative 30, demo. There you go. Now it's inverted the theme. in a way, like it hasn't actually inverted it. It's using the primary stuff for the spruce theme, which is actually stone brick and mixed stone and stuff. And now the segments and stuff are done with mud. If we take this whole thing and we copy it, oops, don't want to mess up my formatting, bro. Comma, change this one to primary. Over here, spawn another dungeon. Roguelike Dungeon, -117, -50, demo. Oops, I did something bad. I think. Yes? No? Wow. Looks like it crashed. That's weird. I got a few different mods installed in here, so who knows. Let's just... Yeah, okay, we're still good. Alright, let's put another dungeon down and see what happens. -84, -50, demo. There we go. Okay, I have no idea what that was, honestly. That's beyond me. But you can see now everything is mud. All the primary and secondary blocks are mud. So you can mix it up however you want. But yeah, actually, yeah. So I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it there. That's kind of a basic introduction to how to use this new setting system. And part of what I want to kind of impress is that you can define a whole bunch of these things up here and then create multiple different dungeons. And actually, I guess I should I will actually just show that in the criteria, if you add like biome types, I believe is an array. I don't know if I added this to the wiki. I don't think I did. This is too new. No, there should be a whole place for criteria, I think. Criteria, see spawn criteria below. Yeah, biomes array, but there's also biome types. So let's go to actually just double check it here to make sure I'm doing this right. Spawn criteria, biome types is an array of types from the biome dictionary. This is actually kind of important. Minecraft Forge biome dictionary GitHub. I'm gonna somehow make this easier to find, but down here at the very bottom of this page is a table of all the different biome dictionary types. So let's say that I wanted to spawn my new dungeon in Swamp. Well, I just find swampland in Swamp is the biome dictionary type. So if I go biome types, Swamp. Actually, let's change this back, by the way, the segments. It's gonna drive me crazy. Mossy Arch. There you go. So now, I'm gonna have to negative 50, 25 demo. Just make sure that, yep, it works. All right, so the fireworks are going off. It'd be nice to find a. I had to spawn a dungeon to reset the configs, by the way, internally. That's why I did that. So maybe if we're lucky, we can find a swamp. And here's a swamp. If we're really lucky, a dungeon will spawn in the swamp. All right, well, let's just force spawn one in. Roguelike Dungeon, 834, 293. And we're not going to specify a type, so it'll pull it automatically. So this should be the mud one. There you go, there's the mud dungeon. Actually, how come the fireworks are spawning? I'm surprised that... So I picked up a bunch of segments that don't have secret door. Blah, blah, blah. Oh! Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that worked like that. Okay. Wild. Wild and crazy. Some of the segments are hard-coded to be able to actually have secret doors. So it appears that Mossy Arch is one of those that actually just has an opening. Swamp. And spawn a dungeon, you'll see that it's... Roguelike Dungeon 879 393. There you go. Normal dungeon. Actually. Anyway, I think that's all. That's about it. That's all I wanted to kind of show. Maybe we can end it off with some fireworks. Just for anyone that hasn't seen that yet. Where is that door? Oh, there we are. No, that's a bedroom. Oh, by the way, these bedrooms, this is where you find the book now. So, yeah. And that's, by the way, one of those cute little perpetually burning furnaces. It's not a bug. I did that on purpose. Dang it. Where's the... Ah, here we are. So, I don't know. I'm not going to explain how this works. Let's just enjoy it. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. It was there's more to show, but I might do maybe separate videos focusing on specific things like how to do custom loot, how to do custom spawners, all that stuff. I'll try to do the documentation at some point, and hopefully other people will, I don't know, yeah, feel free to make tutorials about this stuff if you can figure it out. Maybe you can do a better job, do it more concisely than I did. You're perfectly welcome to. I hope to not have to really change this stuff too much in the future, aside from maybe some bug fixes, but yeah, have fun with it, and you know, yeah, maybe we can add some more rooms and stuff, and then be able to make even more variety of dungeons. So, yep, that's all I got for now. Have a good one.